Hey YouTubers, Stingmon93 here, back with yet another Transformers review. This time I'm reviewing kind of three bots in one, even though these two are in one package and he's separate. So here's my Siege Line Battle Masters. I think this one's called Dead Heat, and I don't remember the police one's name. And, of course, the Earthrise, crud, I can't remember his name now. It'll come to me. Smashdown. There we go. I knew it would come to me. So, Smashdown, the police car guy, and Dead Heat. So, we're going to start with these two, and then go to him. So, I'm just going to set him off to the side. And for these two, I'm going to start with the police car one. So, real quick, between these two, only one of these actually has the Autobot symbol printed on them. That would be this one, and it's right here on his hood. So, yeah, like, real quick, let me get in here. Like, he's got the blue and red. So it goes, wee wee. And it's got Cybertronian written there. Cybertronian words written there, probably says police on it. I'm just taking a guess. This is kind of like a Legends class, or basically it's what I personally like to call Minicon class, because it's right around the same size as like a Minicon. So they transform in like pretty super simple. It's like 1 to 3 steps, just depending on which bot you are. So to transform this one, you grab the back here, and basically it forms the legs of his robot mode. Visible head syndrome, and oh crap, I dropped him. Yeah, that little tab, I will explain later what that is for. So you flip down his hood. Now, real quick, there's a double hinge right... Let me close the hood. There's a double hinge part right here. So you can just, flip it down like that. But that kind of, for me, kind of makes it back heavy a little bit. So for me, I like to kind of pop that upward, which makes him a little bit less back heavy. Then obviously untab his little hands, which they kind of tab in right there. And there you go. There's Mr. Police Car Guy in his robot mode, if my camera can freaking focus. There we go. So yeah, there he is in his robot mode, which has a gigantic backpack on it. He doesn't get very much articulation in this mode. Yeah, all of his joints are basically ball joints and can do some really, except for the head, which it can kind of move, but it's a pain to move. So he's just gonna go stand in the back. Thank you. I'm gonna bring in Dead Heat, which is a nice fire truck. So yeah, he that can do a 360, and I'm having too much fun with this one. I am so sorry. So yeah, he's a nice Cybertronian fire truck. No Autobot symbols printed on him at all. Okay? Anywhere. So, straight down to transformation. That goes flat like that, and then fold that in. Now, you want to move it to the side here, because now you're going to grab these pieces, and they basically untab, basically bring those out of there, which those will fold down and pretty much form the feet. Which this one's ball joint right there is incredibly loose. Now you take, obviously you put that back down, straight down. Then you take these parts, and it's on a hinge. The joint is on a hinge there, and the arm is connected via ball joint. This one's head unless you have a really good set of tweezers that doesn't, scratch the paint. Don't scratch the paint. You cannot move his head. So, like, yeah. And my fingers are too stubby to even begin it. So, and yeah, this guy can be incredibly back heavy too, but there is a trick to this guy, whereas that guy, this one, it is pretty, with this police guy, his backpack is pretty much, bolted on like that piece is, and that one is, okay? But with this piece, let me fold up his arms for a minute. You can disconnect it and just like set it off to the side, so he's not so back heavy. Mine's just not wanting to stand up. So yeah, there's that. But and then they also have a combined mode. Now, when they combine, they make a bazooka. So when I combine them, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Slash back here. And by the way, he changes into a hammer, so that's what she's for too. So that's why she's just going to stand there for a minute. Real quick, just want to make sure her elbow is basically flat. Okay, and a little bit down. So now, the best one to start with is, Red Heat. That's his name. So you tab. He has a tab right there that clips in right there. So you tab those together, okay? Then you bring these down. Bring his shoulders, leave his shoulders down. Excuse me. But go ahead and bring that up to one of the sides. Now you're going to, his hips are going to do a 180. They can't do a full 360, but 180 for weapon mode. Then like you were going to vehicle mode, you bend those, and there's two itty bitty tabs on these that kind of like thoop a little bit into place. They don't actually make the sound, the little thooping sound. Oh yeah, there's also little tabs right there that tab into the arms right there. Then you want to make sure that's lined up like that, and that's ready. Just like set them down and that. Now, like Red Heat, there's a tab right there and port right there. Now, unlike Red Heat, you're not going to fold his legs up. Real quick, the instructions normally do say to put his arms basically back into vehicle mode. And then bring this up and bring that down. But for me, personally, I like to bring these here. So they kind of, when these two combine, it kind of helps support this section, because if I left these up, this piece would become so heavy it drops like that. So I personally, just because it supports this piece a lot better, and then down a bit with that, creates that. Then this peg goes into the port on the back of his ladder hose thing. And then these little tabs will just kind of sit in there. They don't actually, clip into place like the ones do into the arms on these and the legs. So there's their combined mode. And this is where Slash comes in for the first time. So you can basically slide that onto there, and yeah, it kind of becomes on the top heavy side, on the heavy side. So that's why I kind of like let it kind of lean a bit. When I put it with a figure, I kind of let it lean a bit, unless it's one of those really big figures like Grimlock. But yeah, there's that. So yeah, she's just gonna sit over there now. So transform them back, untab, push this side, whoop, and bump. He's done. Arms back, tab up, back, then push that down, and then flip the legs, and boop, and you're done. So now, let's get to Smashdown. So yeah, he's like a Minotaur, but like miniaturized, so Minotaur. Like, so I like him because he actually transforms to a hammer. I love the little skit thingy, the little skit that Emgo does with this guy. Go see Emgo's review on this guy, and then if you want to skip the review part, because you probably watched it here with me, although his is probably a little bit funnier, but if you want to skip it, skip to the end where he goes boom in your face type thing, then it's like a moment later where he goes into the skit, and it's absolutely hilarious. But transforming him, head down. Oh yeah, his head is on a ball joint. So if you can kind of see that, but yeah, I don't have appropriate lighting here. So head down, 180. Then I like to push it back up for a moment. Arm straight up and partially turn it, not too much like you will for robot or for hammer mode, but like just like partial. Next, bring his feet up and get it ready, kind of partial on the other side. Then he's just going to do an ab crunch for that. And then there are 2 tabs, one on the leg and both are on the arms. They'll tab into the legs to kind of hold them together, if I can actually do it right. There we go. And then there you go. The hammer is ready. Now it does come with the special the effects parts, but my brother has had a wedding recently, my eldest brother, and I just cleaned my room too with the time of this recording, so I've kind of misplaced a few things here and there. Either that or it's packed away somewhere. One of the two. So I bend that, and come on, girl, stand still. Thank you. So yeah, she can hold it like that. And hopefully without falling. There we go. Or she can hold it down like that with him kind of like all the way back. Oop, and I bumped the camera with my hand because I had an itch. So yeah, there's Smashdown being held by Slash, the Velociraptor Dinobot, and the only female Dinobot of the G1 era, pretty much. But yeah, there's kind of in the skit, it's kind of a running gag. This guy is kind of like Mjolnir from Thor, mainly movieverse Thor, the MCU Thor. That's what I'm thinking of, where like he tosses it and then it just sticks out his hand and just flies back to him, type thing, or back to whoever holds Mjolnir. So my little bit that's the tail piece is incredibly loose right here. So I'm probably going to super glue that eventually when I have super glue to do it with. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of that. This is Stingmon93 signing off, and have a smashing day.